Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 197 of my Minecraft survival series, and it's occurred to me that over the past few episodes, we've done a fair amount of landscaping. Like, we finished up the landscaping over here at Enchantry Island. I suppose what we did last episode over here at Charlotte's Well could be considered landscaping, and that got me thinking, you know, we're on a little bit of a streak, so why not go ahead and make our way over here to Ender Island and actually finish up the landscaping over here, because if you'll remember, when we did Ender Island, we never went underneath sea level to finish up, you know, the landscaping that should have been done at that time. So, I mean, it is going to have to get done eventually, and what better time to do it than now? Now, if you're not a fan of the idea of me doing even more landscaping, just come over here with me for a second. Just come over here. I'm going to have to ask you to just bear with me, because this isn't all we're doing in this episode. This is just our cover for getting to Ender Island, to try to find the Tomb of the Old Ones, to try to find Watchdog. It's all part of Wolford's plan, so just follow my lead and keep that between us, okay? Anyway, at this point, I think I've got my materials all ready to go. I've reclaimed my old workstation over here at Ender Island. I was just making myself at home again, and I was thinking, you know, it's the night before a big project. We want to get a good night's sleep, right? But typical can't get a good night's sleep the night before a big project because there are monsters around that won't allow me to rest. I hear ya. Oh, the culprit. The culprit. Where did he even come from? This area is so well lit. I don't understand. I really don't understand where these guys come from. Yeah, I mean, obviously he came from the water. He's drowned. I got it. Still no sleepy? Really? Okay, so you might be the I know. I'm looking for monsters. And no, I'm not calling you a monster. Don't walk away. I'm not calling you a monster. The game might be. I'm definitely not. But just real quick, can I ask you to go home just for a minute? You can come back. Feel free to come back anytime. But just go home for a little bit, because I want to try something out here, okay? So is he the reason why I can't sleep? Let's go ahead and he is the reason. Oh, that is so rude. Anyway, Dee Dee, it's bedtime. I mean, well, bedtime for me. Obviously, you don't need to sleep. You're a robot after all, but I will go ahead and go to sleep. You can go ahead and plug yourself into your charger. Make sure your batteries are all juiced up, because we got a big day tomorrow. Oh, these guys are going to be so annoying. Anyway, I'm ready to go. I think Dee Dee's ready to go. So at this point, let's go ahead and put on a little bit of music and get to work. no, this is bad. This is bad. Oh, my robot friend is hurt. I need a place to work on him. Oh man, no, this hallway won't do. It's too small. What about this room? Oh no, this is too small as well. You know what? Excuse me, fella, I need to get in there because that's the only place big enough to work on my robot friend who is very injured.
Ow.
Oh, Dee, are you okay?
Oh, the pain receptors.
Oh no, his pain receptors he has blunt force trauma to his pain receptors. Quick, Dee, in here, we need to make some repairs. Smooth.
I am Smooth, and also a master of deception. Your acting, however, needs work.
What? Why do you have to go and attack my acting? Dee, come on, you're better than that. Anyway, let's go ahead and figure out how we can get into the Tomb of the Old Ones. Now, according to Wolford, there should be a secret door back here somewhere. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we could just bust our way in. We need to figure out some way to activate this thing. So obviously Dee's find that whole masterclass in acting right there was really just a ploy to get us back into this area, which is the secret entrance to the Tomb of the Old Ones, right? Now there is supposed to be a hidden doorway right here, very hidden because obviously I don't see it, you don't see it, nobody sees it. We need to figure out how this is going to work. So give me a few minutes to kind of put some stuff together. So, I mean, normally I like to overcomplicate things, but I think maybe just doing something like this, something very simple, would probably work. In fact, I do kind of like that. That feels too easy. But you know what? I think we're going to roll with that. Maybe what we can do is we can complicate it just a little bit. But just a little bit. You know, move a few more blocks around than what we're able to right now. You know, I was just thinking we are going to need a better way to harvest the bee stuff like the honey and I guess honeycomb, right? And I was thinking, you know, the farm district would probably be a good place to do that. In fact, I think right over here maybe might be the perfect spot because we don't really have anything else going on over here aside from this building, right? So maybe this would be a good spot to kind of automate that process because I would like to use more honey and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's, you know, future plans, future projects. So let's go ahead and think about how we're going to actually activate this door. You'll notice I have a few holes kind of poked into the walls over there with levers inside them. One on either side of the room over here also just to have that symmetry going on right now. Obviously to open the door, we would come in here and we would just pull the lever, right? Not the case. We actually need to pull all of the levers in order to open this door. Now, it's not really a puzzle or anything like that. It's just, you know, just something to kind of complicate the process a little bit more. Now, as far as where the honey comes into play here, using the slime blocks, we're pretty much at our limit with how many blocks we can push and pull. And I do want to build up a room around this, and we are going to need to kind of, you know, hide the actual mechanism here. So what I'm thinking is basically, you know, we know the slime blocks won't move if we activate this with other blocks attached to them, right? So what we could do then is go ahead and use these honey blocks and replace the slime blocks with those. Then we would obviously need additional pistons to push and pull the slime on either side, right? So we'll do one piston right in here, like that, and another piston over here on this side, like that. Then we just need to hook up our redstone, and I think this is all fairly basic honey block technology, but I'm really new to honey blocks, so I'm going to start with the easy stuff, and then we'll kind of figure out how to use them better as we progress, right? But yeah, there we go. That does seem to work. Perfect. But now that we have our entrance figured out into this secret area, we need to figure out how to get from here to the actual Tomb of the Old Ones, right? So from what Wolford's told me, like to get from this point right here to the Tomb of the Old Ones, we need to go around this way and then find some way to kind of go down into the lower ruins of Ender Island, which obviously would, you know, be underneath this hill, so this hill is probably going to have to go. But ultimately, that should lead us to this side of the island, and I believe over here somewhere is where we're going to find the actual tomb. Now, I don't think we're going to get around to the tomb today, but we're going to go ahead and kind of make some progress here. We need to clear out this whole area, get rid of all this stuff, kind of excavate, you know, this thing, and just see if we can unearth some clues as to where it is, right? So that's what we're going to do now. I think at this point, what we're going to go ahead and do is call Dee back on over here, put on a little bit of music, see what we can find. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, we've excavated a pretty good amount of blocks under Ender Island in search of the Tomb of the Old Ones. Now, we haven't found the tomb quite yet, but we are making pretty good progress on our dig, I feel. The first thing we need to find is the lower ruins of Ender Island, and I feel like the deeper we go, the more likely we are to find what we need to find there, right? The more likely we are to find animals there, too, apparently. These guys were hanging out way down there for some reason. I don't know why. They had a llama friend with them. He wandered off into the caves. Apparently, he's in search of something, too. Hi! Oh, my friend is still there. I had to run back for some parts. So, don't worry. We're going to get him out of here as soon as we can. I just need to get a flux capacitor for him. Okay. That was a close one. Anyway, as you can see, we've dug down pretty deep into this island to the depth that we believe the Tomb of the Old Ones should be located. Not quite as low as a stronghold, but still pretty far down here. Now, obviously, this area is not yet meant to be explored. We still need to do some preparation before we can get around to it. But, we're on our way. We're just going to take it slow, take it one step at a time, because this is a very delicate operation. So we're going to start up here at the entrance and kind of work our way down, I think. Now, I think what I want to do, something I want to do real quick, is just kind of lower the floor here down by about a block. And the reason for that is mostly just to aid in the transition between the different sections of this place. Like, obviously up here, we're going to have the entrance section, right? The entrance chamber. And then we'll step down into this little transitional section right here. So basically, as we move throughout this place, we should get the sense that we're constantly going, lower and lower, especially as we move down the stairs here, right? We're going to go really low here, but, that's kind of the idea. Now, as far as how this place is going to look, obviously we're building this pretty much above the stronghold. So we're trying to carry some of the stronghold aesthetic up here. So, lots of gray blocks pretty much, lots of stone brick. We'll add some mossy and some cobble in there for a little bit of variation. We're going to want it to be dark as well. So we're going to need a floor that kind of, prevents mob spawns, which is likely going to mean we're going to be half slabbing this whole thing. Let me go ahead and play around with this for a minute, and I'm going to see what I can come up with. And basically what I'm doing right now is just using this little area as like kind of a sample section, so that way we can figure out the look and feel of the entire place, right? So that way we don't commit ourselves to something by going through and decorating the entire place and decide, hey, this doesn't work. If something this size, it's easy to make our revisions if we need to. One thing I do want to change up is it's still a lot brighter in here than I want it to be. So that's an easy fix. We just got to make sure to block off any blocks that light might be able to pass through and illuminate this area. And then we get this nice dark shadow over here. Ooh, actually, what I like more than the darkness is the transition from light to dark. That's a little bit nicer, actually. And actually, instead of continuing the same block variation for every little bit of this place, maybe we could do something like that, where we could have certain blocks kind of emphasize certain areas, like this polished andesite right here. We could use that in the corners to kind of emphasize the corners of the room, right? So if we were to do something like that right here as well, we'll go ahead and see what we think of this. This is a possibility. You know what? I kind of like that. In fact, we could take that a step further and throw in a little chiseled block there as well. That might be kind of nice. So potentially a little something like this. I think that's going to work. It's slowly come together. This has slowly come together. I think I like it. And as I said earlier, I think it might benefit us to go ahead and add a little bit of light to certain areas. That way it's not, all darkness. We have some variation not only in blocks and texture, but also in lighting as well as we move throughout this place, right? Not completely satisfied with this yet, though. I think something like that could potentially work a little bit better, and also, starts to represent the Nether here at Ender Island as well. Because remember, this is not just how we get to the end. It's not just representing the stronghold. This is a convergence point of all dimensions. So we got the basalt up here. We got some blackstone, some soul flame, and previously the only other place we used soul flame in this world was Enchantry Island. But you know what? Ender Island and Enchantry Island, they got a few things in common, so I figured they could have this in common as well, because they're both very much involved with the old ones, right? Like, the old ones bestowed their power upon the Arcanine Order, and I feel like this blue flame, it's very much representative of the old ones' magics. But at this point, I do feel like I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do with this place decoration-wise. We're just going to carry the same kind of design that we put into here all the way through here and down to the end of the stairs. And that's probably going to be as far as we get today because we're moving cautiously, right? Now, this is probably going to be the smallest out of all the areas. We can afford to go more grand as we get, you know, down to the lower sections of this place. But, you know, we want it to still be cohesive. Anyway, I think I'm about ready to build. So let's go ahead and call DD on over, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. Progress. We have made our way down to the lower ruins. We are one step closer to... Decoy Dog's lower control arms are ruined. The bushings are completely shot. More repairs will need to be made. I need to have more time. We'll wait it out. Just bear with me. Man, those guys are nosy. I think we're good though. I think we're good. Let's just hurry. Let's hurry and make our way down into the lower ruins. I'll show you guys what we're dealing with down there, and I'll show you how we're going to be proceeding with the next episode, okay? So you guys have already seen this room for the most part. I think the only thing I've really added in here are these spider webs, and that's because I don't imagine many people frequent these ruins, you know, these forgotten ruins, hence forgotten, right? Or at least if they do, it's not the custodial staff because, man, it's a mess down here. Somebody should really clean this place up. Anyway, as you can see, we got a couple soul flames over here, and those are kind of placed sparsely so that way we can emphasize the darkness, right? Because I want this to be a dark build, and what we've basically achieved here is use the soul flames to kind of emphasize the darkness with certain little areas of light, which I think is a really cool effect, right? Another way that we've kind of played with the light and dark is by using light and dark blocks, right? So you can see right here we have like the stone and all that stuff, and then in the middle of it we got the darker blocks of black stone and the basalt and all that, and that kind of, you know, adds a little bit more depth, a little bit more contrast to it, which is very nice. Overall, I really like the way this is feeling. I like the atmosphere of this place. especially as we carry down here into the crossroads of the lower ruins. Now this is not something I was expecting. This was not mentioned. There was not supposed to be an intersection here leading to different areas. Like, I knew about this area over here, which we'd assumed to be the Tomb of the Old Ones, but it seems now we are going to have more contenders. There was no mention of additional rooms. I have no idea what these are supposed to be, but we will explore them in the next episode and find out. I'm really anxious to figure out what that is all about. But I mean, that's kind of the reason why we didn't push straight into this, right? That's kind of the reason why, we don't know what's waiting for us here or anywhere really in these lower ruins. This is all new to me. This is not a part of Luna that I ever knew or imagined could exist, but it does. And to be honest, it's a little unsettling. The powers at play here that I never knew about, I don't know. Anyway, this wasn't the only thing we worked on today, of course. I don't believe I ever flew around Ender Island once we did the landscape, seascaping, aquascaping of this thing, which the goal of that wasn't to make Ender Island look pretty when viewed from underwater or anything like that. Nothing like that. It was mostly just to connect Ender Island to the seafloor finally after all this time. Conveniently, when we built this place, I forgot to do that. So it was really good to have that be our excuse to come back over here and get back into Ender Island and actually access this tomb. And of course, get these guys out of the little predicament that they were in. A little tail flick of gratuity right there. At least I think that was for gratuity. I don't know. It might have just been a fly buzzing around his butt or something. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for us today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.